My name is Thabisa Dinga and I was born in KwaLanga, and I moved to Cape Town when I was doing grade 10, and that is where I encountered music when I came to stay with my uncle in Langa. He was a performing artist and he had this band, Amampondo. That's where my love for music actually began, just by watching them rehearse at our home space. Langa is one of the oldest townships in Cape Town, which has a very rich history behind it. And I think for me, it is really important for us to acknowledge that and treat it with the respect that it needs, so that other communities will possibly learn from that. One of the things that I fell in love with about Langa is the people, you know. Most of the people, they are quite friendly and they outgoing. They love fashion. And Langa is also a very musical township. I used to attend theater productions with my uncle, and at this one time I was helping out a former student here at UCT that was doing her master's in African music, and so I performed with her, and she also got an opportunity to go and perform with her orchestra with Jazz Art Dance Theatre. They had a collaboration, and that's where my love for dance began. I'm currently teaching here at UCT Music Department. I teach practical studies. I'm standing in for Professor Dizuplakis, who is on sabbatical for this year. Mostly it's African indigenous instruments like uadi, umkhube, and amadinda, which is a xylophone from Uganda, kudu horns. There's a variety of these instruments that you can find in this African department. It's not just also about instruments, it's about culture preservation, which is something that is really important for Africans to connect with themselves, know where they come from, and know about their roots. We've always been taught that it is vital for people to give back to their communities. And I think it came with my training at Jazz Art, and so automatically I developed that love for giving back to communities. So I'm currently associated with a UCT outreach program for kids, where they also teach them about these traditional instruments. And it's not just traditional instruments, they also teach them Western instruments as well. I realized that in the community, especially in Langa where I grew up, kids were just roaming around the streets and engaging in, meaningless activities. And so that is where I thought, if we create a space for these kids to come and practice meaningful things that can potentially build their character, build their self-confidence, and also just challenge them to think critically out of the box. So that's why we started that initiative. My kids, specifically Thabisa Dinga kids, they're from Langa. We are based in Langa at the Guga Arts and Culture Center. And there's also other groups from Philippi, from Guguletu and Kailicha as well. I teach life skills, but through dance, and now we're just slowly introducing music. There's a saying in Xhosa that says "Ligotywa liselicha." It's a metaphor, but it's referring to a tree that it needs to be bent while it is still fresh and new. So it is important for kids to also learn things at a very early age. My kids, I really have been fortunate, to be honest. They're quite disciplined and they are willing to, learn new things. They love the challenge. I believe that music and dance, they go hand in hand. You can't separate those two. And music has been a healing space for me through these instruments that I was introduced to. That's where I found some comfort whenever I was feeling a bit unease or going through a difficult situation. Whenever I just play these instruments, I just felt in like some sort of relief. And so it's been my safe haven, like my go-to place whenever I'm in despair or when I'm happy, for that matter. So yeah, music has been used to celebrate, to mourn, to do a lot of different events. And so music plays a very vital role in my life.